Canada, hell yeah, yes. Hey everybody, hey guys, welcome to another top 10 list. This is a top 10 people recommended because I did my top 10 favorite United States presidents, and now I'm doing my top 10 favorite Canadian prime ministers because I am Canadian, born and raised in Canada. My ancestors all go back to like almost natives in Canada on my grandfather's side, so born and bred Canadian blood in me, and I love my country of Canada very much. And I thought I'd talk about the best or my personal favorite prime ministers of Canada. And when I talk about this is just a personal opinion. So if you guys don't agree, that's fine. That's what the comment section below is for. And I do know my history and the politics, but I don't know everything. I made a lot of notes on my laptop here. So you're going to see me reading off my notes, not looking at the cameras very much, because there's a lot to know. And when it comes to Canadian politics or just politics in general, being inaccurate is not always a good thing. And I don't want to look too stupid, so I'm only a little stupid. I'm not that stupid, but pretty stupid. But I just wanted to, lay down accurate information and why I think they're a very good prime minister. I did a lot of research, and let's get to it. Number 10 is St Laurent, prime minister, Liberal, 1948 to 1957. St Laurent did a lot of good. He is a Liberal. You're going to see a lot of Liberals and Conservatives. I don't swing just one way. I go both. That sounded freaky. I meant it to sound freaky. But anyways, he oversaw Canada's post-war boom times. When the economy was thriving and the military was at its strongest, it was because St Laurent was such a great prime minister. When Canada was had some of the best soldiers during these hard times, especially after World War II, St Laurent did a very, very good job. Just like Harry Truman did for the United States government, St Laurent did a very good job of the Canadian government right after World War II, and the economy was really bad, and he made it go hot, better, stronger, and he lowered taxes, which is something a Liberal doesn't usually do, and he did a very, very good job. He even dealt with the Newfoundland and Labrador situation, and because there was a confederation in 1949, he settled that very, very well, and he added a lot of unique elements and a lot of things that a lot of politicians don't do to this day, and St Laurent was a very good politician, and he was a really good prime minister. He did have his elements of stupidity, and there's a couple things I don't fully agree with when it came to a couple foreign affairs that he dealt with, but I still think he's a solid prime minister. Number 9 is John Thompson. John Thompson was 1892 to 1894, very short time as prime minister. He's conservative, but I like him because he created Canada's first criminal code, and he dealt with he did a lot of reconciliation with the Catholic and Protestant Canadians. The way he could talk to people of religion is really, really good, and he was actually a very good member of the Conservative Party when John A. Macdonald died. John A. Macdonald is huge on this list, so you'll get to John A. Macdonald, but John Thompson did a very good job. John Sparrow Thompson. Jack Sparrow, you could call him the pirate of politicians, but now John Thompson wasn't in office very long, but the short time he was there, I think he did a very good job. And if he didn't die, I think he could have done so much more. There's not a lot of negatives with John Thompson, just he wasn't in office long enough. But I feel like if he was in office long enough, I think he could have been one of the great prime ministers. I know it's kind of wishful thinking because, he's dead and stuff. He could have made the fucking country worse. But I think John Thompson was super underrated. It's kind of Calvin Coolidge for the fucking Americans. But yeah, I liked him, John Thompson. Number 8 is Lester B Pearson, Liberal, 1963 to 1968. He fumbled a lot, mumbled his words a lot. Wasn't a great speaker. He didn't say words properly. And some people thought he was kind of just stupid. But what he did in office for his time was really good. He created the modern Canadian flag and oversaw the success of Expo 1967 celebrations. He did a lot of great things with recognizing Quebec's distinctiveness in Canada. He did a lot of great things. He did a lot of accomplishments for the government and for the economy of Canada. His plans for medical was amazing. How he did the modern Medicare was incredible. He did the Royal Commission on the status of women and gender equality. He was very progressive, and not so progressive like nowadays where it's like just in your face and fucking annoying. Lester B. Pearson was the right kind of progressive for a liberal. He did a lot of good work, even for the gay community and stuff, and even his partnership with the British Empire. Like, he did a really good job, Lester B. Pearson. The only negatives is he said things that he didn't always mean, and he never knew how to debate people. And I like a good speaker, and Lester B. Pearson was not a good speaker in the slightest bit. So put him down a little bit, but he's still good. There are better ones. Oh, trust me. Number 7, Pierre Trudeau, Liberal, 1968 to 1984. His son is not on here. Yes. The only time about Justin Trudeau, I don't hate him. I don't hate Justin. I think he's doing a pretty good job as of now. I think when he started, he did a shit job. He made a stupid promises that there was no way he could keep. And of course, he didn't keep them. It was ridiculous that he promised those things to people. The way he pandered to like feminists and the way he pandered to certain communities was just irritating. It was the most phoniest, fakest bullshit ever. And the way he tried to solve issues was the stupidest thing of going about it. So Justin Trudeau from 16, 17, 18, and 19, I couldn't stand him. But in 2020, when the COVID-19 virus came out, he handled it super well. Him and Ford. Ford did a great job, too. And the way they created Serve Canada was an incredible thing he did for people with businesses and people going out of business, and for people who are unemployed during the COVID-19. So Justin Trudeau did a very good job with that. So I'll give him mad respect for that. But Pierre was a way better politician than his son. Pierre Trudeau was a liberal, and he was a fighter. He fought for the rights he believed in. He was very bilingual, French, Canadian. He was a lot about the arts and language. He was very good with language and speaking. Like I said, Lester B. Pearson was a terrible speaker. Pierre Trudeau was an amazing speaker. The way he can get his ideas and ideologies was fantastic. What he did, how he fought in 1980 from the referendum, it was amazing. The way he just did handle social communities, social programs. Again, he created the Charter of Rights and stuff for freedoms and everything. Everything he talked about with language and race and the way even to treat people in workplaces was really good. He brought the Constitution home from Britain in the 20th century. He did a lot of great things. The charters he did, the fundamental libertarians and liberty speeches and treaty rights. He did a lot of great things. I think Pierre Trudeau is a solid prime minister. I don't think he's perfect. A lot of people think he does. A lot of liberals suck his dick, and they think he's the greatest fucking thing ever. He's great. He's a very good prime minister. He's an 8 out of 10 prime minister, but he is not the best. He's good, though. I will say that. He's good. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to be too offensive there. I'm trying to be more professional in this. I'm talking about the Canadian prime ministers. I want to be more professional. One with another liberal. I didn't think I'd have this many, but number 6 is the guy on the $5 bill. Wilfred Laurier, liberal, 1896 to 1911. He is probably one of the best liberals. Maybe. No, he's not. He's one of the best. He's a fighter. He's a warrior. I love this Wilfred Laurier. He has a great look, very sophisticated. When tensions were at a rise, especially the issue of bilingualism outside Quebec in 1885, he dealt with that really well. he did a lot of great things, and especially the stuff that happened in 1885. A lot of shit went down, and he was behind it. You know, he wasn't even fucking in office then. He did a lot of great shit. But when he was in office, he did a lot of great things. He added Alberta, Saskatchewan, and the Yukon to Confederation, and made expansion to Canada and stuff. He developed a lot of great Canadian multiculturalism, just a lot of great things. He added a lot to prairie farms, homes, industrial constructions and stuff. Like I can't speak very sophisticated words. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron sometimes, but he did a lot of great things. He's almost as good as the one I'm going to talk about, but I don't think he is as good. But I think he's a fantastic prime minister. There's a reason he's on the $5 bill. He was a fighter. He was a warrior. He brought a lot of like farming and jobs and stuff, and the Liberals love him. They think he's one of the best. I think he's good. I think he's really good. I think the one I'm about to talk about is a lot of people don't agree with, but I like him. Underrated. Robert Borden is my number 5, conservative, 1911 to 1920. I think he did a good job, actually. The way he had to deal with the Britain issue, the equal standing with Britain in terms of sovereignty and foreign relations was really good. He also implicated income taxes and gave women the right to vote in federal elections. Like, that's very, very, very good what he did. And he's conservative. And a lot of him, he fought for women's rights and stuff. And a lot of people hate him because he did a lot of stupid things over like some civil rights stuff. But he gave a lot of things to women and a lot of people of different cultures, a lot of things. So I think he's underrated. Really, really, really underrated. Anyways, speaking of underrated, Paul Martin, 2003 to 2006, Liberal. He's the prime minister that legalized gay marriage in Canada. That's amazing, actually. It's really, really good. He did a lot of pretty cool things in his very, very, very short-term election, actually. He didn't. Some people say he didn't accomplish a whole lot, but there was a lot of things going on and stuff. But I think he did a lot of great things. I think he is the most underrated prime minister, actually. He dealt with poverty really well. He did a lot of good things about, you know, how he did not want to join the U.S. proposed missile defense shield. He didn't want to do that, so that was very smart of him. And he was perfect for a lot of things. And I think, again, if he was in office longer, I think he could have been something truly amazing. But he's another underrated one. Number 3 is John Diefenbaker, conservative. Like, this is just a no-brainer for me. 1873 to 1878, I think. I hope I'm not wrong. I'm terrible with dates and shit. Yes, conservative. He's probably one of the best conservatives ever. No, number 1 is, but still amazing. Yeah, he was. Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, that's William. Sorry, I'm at my number 2. My notes are scattered everywhere, so I apologize. So John Diefenbaker. Sorry, no, 1957 to 1963. Yeah, okay. He was one of the most significant ones. He expanding the vote to indigenous people was really fucking good. He also abolished the racist immigration quotas that a lot of liberal parties wanted to put in and stuff. He also completed the construction of the Trans-Canada Highway. He also got South Africa kicked out of the British Commonwealth as it appraised policies. He did a lot of good stuff with that. He was also one of the most successful people in Western Canada with the prairies and stuff. He did a lot of great things with the farming communities and bringing a lot of food and imports and exports into Canada. I think he's fucking solid. And again, he's conservative, so a lot of people just don't like conservatives, but he did a fucking hell of a job. So John Diefenbaker, amazing. Now I'm going to talk about the best liberal. A lot of people say he's the best. I think he's close. I think he's close to being one of the best. He's amazing. He's better than Wilfred Laurier. A lot of people think Wilfred Laurier and Pierre Trudeau are the best liberals ever. No, William Lyon Mackenzie is the best liberal. He was prime minister 3 times, 1921 to 1926, then 1926 to 1930, then 1935 to 1948. He may have been a little complex, but he was great. He dealt with the World War II. He dealt with a lot of the Great Depression and the way he handled it. No prime minister could have handled what he did. How he handled the war, how he handled the Great Depression, how he handled the economy, and how he still came out of it still really good and building a critical role in building the Canadian welfare state, and how he created pensions and family allowances during this time was absolutely incredible. No politician has ever done that, and I think he deserves to be one of the greatest, and I stand by that. But he is no number one. He is no Sir John Macdonald, which is my number one. 1867 to 1873 to 1878 to 1891. He was a conservative. He played a common critical role in the finding of the common ground between the different goals between the Confederation debates. And he was conservative, but he listened to liberals and he listened to people. He wanted to know what the people wanted. And he did a great job, honestly. He also physically maintained and expanded Canada as a country by bringing in Manitoba and Prince Edward Islands and Northwest Territories and stuff. Nova Scotia was like separatist movement and physically linking Canada with the Canadian Pacific Railway and shit like that. The way he did the railways was incredible. The way he did industrials was amazing. Jobs, farms, prairies, amazing. The way he did with the Canadian federalism. Can't say words. This is why I'll never be a fucking politician. He also oversaw the growth of Canada from a, disparate collection of colonies and stuff. He did a really good job, honestly. He did amazing. I think he's the greatest prime minister of Canada ever. Some people don't like him. I fucking love him. I think he's the greatest. And if I compare him as all politicians in the world, he's not my favorite. I still think Abraham Lincoln's the greatest politician ever made. I don't know. Ever in politics. I think if it went to Canadian American, they'd go Abraham Lincoln number 1. I think Thomas Jefferson's number 2, and John Macdonald's number 3, and then William Lyon. Then Will, and then George Washington. But yeah, so that was my top 10 quick Canadian prime ministers. Sorry if I jumbled with words and stuff. It's not my forte. I'm a movie critic, not a politician. But I wanted to, some people want to know my favorites. So those are my top 10 favorite Canadian prime ministers. So in the comment section below, please tell me, did you get this top 10 list? If not, give me you guys top 10 favorite Canadian prime ministers. Down below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.